What is up, you guys? Happy 4th of July. In this video, we are going to, this sounds like ASMR. In this video, we are going to do another grease pencil animation walkthrough tutorial thing, July 4th theme. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, cool. So here we are in Blender, and what I wanted to do this time is create a 3D like backgrounds. I was trying to get fancy with it, even though it's my second animation. So the great thing about this is you're going to see me use the array modifier and just kind of create windows which I immediately gave up on because all of this is rushed. I had to do this. I wanted to do this July 4th, and I was working my other job, so a lot of this is rushed. So I'm just extruding basic blocks and basic shapes to kind of get this look and feel and stuff. And then I just changed, I think, all of these materials to emission shaders, and I changed the colors to be somewhat similar. And then I learned about the freestyle, so I'm using freestyle here, and you can just kind of go to that little the properties on the side, the layer properties, and then the output properties, and then turn on freestyle, and then you can edit the freestyle mode. And so here I am creating a rocket, a very, as you can see, basic rocket, but it serves its point because I was going to do like a 3D 2D thing, but then I immediately realized that I do not have enough time, and by immediately I mean by the end of, well, as soon as I did it, I was like, you know what, I don't have enough time. So yeah, here I am doing the sketches, and if you know this channel, you know that my sketches are garbage. So, or trash. So here I am doing a little sketch, a rough sketch on the first layer. If you guys are new to this channel, I'm trying to do a lot more of this, this grease pencil stuff. I'm trying to get to where I'm better at it. So if you like this kind of content, let me know. If you want to see me do like a show or try to attempt to do a scene in a show, let me know, and I would love to do that. So yeah, so the original sketch was actually a dude, but then in my head I thought a girl, so I was like, hey, let's make this a girl. And here I am trying to make this really awkward pose. I was using a reference of just a man kneeling, and my anatomy is all messed up, but who cares, because it's only been, I mean, according to the recording, I only did 2 hours of this, but I don't know how legit that is because it felt like eternity. And I think if you do frame by frame animation, even on 2s or on 3s, which I think I was trying to do on 2s, but by the end of it, it felt like it was on 1s, and that's each frame, but it was 2s is every other frame, or every 2 frames. It does feel a lot longer, especially when you're really tired from your day job. So yeah, here I am, just kind of, to save time, I just duplicate in the grease pencil timeline, or whatever it's called. I just duplicate each frame because you're just making minor adjustments, so it doesn't make a lot of sense to redraw the whole thing, in my opinion, since I'm just moving the thumb back. So I just made 2 separate versions of it, and then one version of her blinking, so it kind of livens it a little bit. In my opinion, this is probably the best part of this animation. Towards the end is when it kind of falls because I didn't have enough time to spend on it and stuff like that. So yeah, here I am just doing something. Okay, yeah, so anyways, back to what I was doing. So yeah, here I am trying to just make a very rough sketch of her positioning and where she's gonna be, like just her getting up and stuff. I've literally never done this before in my whole life. I'm terrible at like walk cycles or anything like that. For some reason, I really overthink it, and so here I am just trying to make this look somewhat decent. So so I'm just gonna go ahead and as she's standing up, I'm just gonna do the outline. And I have so much respect for animators because honestly, this is the bane of my existence, is coming back and redrawing every single frame that I just drawn again. Oh, another thing that I would note, when you are working in layers in grease pencil, when you come to the line stage, make sure you really pay attention to it, because if you get lazy with your lines like me, it's going to cost you in the long run. And I think that as long as you take time with really anything, it's going to look, you won't have to keep going back and redoing it and stuff like that. So I think that's my exact tip of the day. Yay! Okay, so as can you tell that I'm really tired? I'm not. It kind of looks like I lost my tooth, but it's not true. Okay, so yeah, here I am, just looking, and then just kind of I switch over to the edit mode, and then select all of the something, all the points, and then I just shift them back. So with the rocket, I was gonna have it towards like this kind of cool under the thing perspective, and I thought in my head that the rocket would just kind of render itself, so I didn't have to draw it frame by frame, which kind of was true, but it wasn't. So all I did, I didn't really show it here, but I switched to object mode, select the rocket, and then in the timeline, I just made it go up and to the left a little bit, and then I switched over to the camera, and then I keyframed. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, I keyframed the camera like swooping in underneath the rocket, and then on the rocket, once it reaches a certain height, then I have it to where it just kind of jostles back and forth, so it looks like it's flying. And then we are just going to kind of scale it off into oblivion, and then once it gets to a certain point, I immediately like drag it off of the camera, the view of the camera, so it looks like it kind of just like pops. And then the whole time I'm doing this on the grease pencil layer, I'm just kind of drawing the like smoke trails and stuff, which they're not very good smoke trails, but yeah, it kind of gets the job done. I mean, if there was one thing that I could go back and redo, it's probably the smoke trails, and kind of look at, not really look at reference, but just spend more time with it. Yeah, so here I am trying to remake her face, which was garbage. So the first time it was really garbage, and then I, fixed it. Her head was kind of so messed up. But yeah, so I just, my tip on this one is just kind of, if you get the face down, then everything else should be really simple. And this is why it's really important to have simple shapes and simple, like body parts and all that other stuff, because when you're designing and you're drawing things for animation, you don't need a whole bunch of complicated stuff, because that's going to be a nightmare to to reinstantiate, unless it's like a rig and stuff. And maybe I'll do a video where like I fully rig a character and stuff. I want to do that, but it takes so much time, and I can really never design pick a character. But if you do rig a character, like on like those newer shows, I don't know if it was Adventure Time, but on some of the newer shows where like they just have like this kind of puppet look. You can pump out a lot more episodes of your miniseries without having to like spend a whole bunch of time on like animation and stuff, because it takes a lot of time to do this. It really does. Like, and it takes a lot of time, a lot of patience. I don't think caffeine is going to help you, because caffeine just makes you impatient. So it just makes you impatient. And yeah, so I'm just kind of pretty much going frame by frame here, and we're just going to make sure that the line art is okay. And while the line art is happening, I'm going to let you listen to the soothed sounds of my voice talking about America's independence from Britain. The year was 1776. America was over Britain and all their tea, and they decided, you know what, we like tea, but not that much. We don't like taxes from the government, and we definitely don't like not having guns. And so America said, hey, listen, Britain, I don't like you. I don't like your tea. I don't like that you don't have any guns. So we are going to leave you today. Here's a letter. And all that tea, we're throwing it in the Boston. It's not the Boston Lake. I know it's the Boston Tea Party, in the river or the ocean or whatever. We're throwing that all overboard. You suck. And we envision a country that taxes its people, but not like how you tax your people. And a country with a lot of gun problems and other issues like that. And this was how America gained the United States of America, became the United States of America. But at the end, I think it was just the 13 colonies. Why are there so many frames of her boots? Okay, that's the main thing. So yeah, we gained our independence today. There was a lot of bloodshed. Not as much as the Civil War, though. The Civil War was extremely bloody. And honestly, it's not exactly like I don't know. It was a fun day. Fun day. I wasn't there, but it took them a long time to write that documentation. Too long. Okay, so anyways, and now we're just kind of doing the smoke, and I'm just kind of in my head. I'm thinking like what the smoke would look like, and this is really just a sketch of smoke. So each frame, I'm just kind of going and making it like gradually explode, and I just have an idea of like a mushroom cloud inverted, and I think that's what you got to do whenever you are doing stuff like this. And then we're gonna go ahead and make the last bit. I hate the way I righted this. This is garbage. Just like a 5-year-old did this. So if I could change anything, another thing, it would be the writing of this. So I'm not super excited about it. I should be like, yeah, this is so much exciting. Oh, by the way, if you are new to this channel, please subscribe and like this video and comment. And I post weekly. I'm going to try to post like a grease pencil every week or something. But we will see how well these videos do. But I primarily do affinity. And we are going to do some traditional painting soon, and I'm really excited to show you guys my traditional painting skills. This is actually a painting right here that I did. You can't see it because it's black. We'll do show and tell today. Okay, so here we go. We are putting some pants on now. Oh yeah, so we're gonna do another separate layer. I just named it FF for fill, which makes no sense. And we are just going to kind of individually go around and create a new material, and we'll use this will be acting as the palette, and we're going to go and in the stroke settings we'll uncheck stroke, check fill. You can see on the right side there, and we'll just go and kind of manually draw each frame and make sure it's underneath the inking layer, and that's how I do that right there. I would take it out the wall and show you, but it takes too much work to show you my paintings and stuff. But I really am excited about painting and the joy of painting. I watched The Joy of Painting. It was a really nice show. I watched an episode I think last night, and it was so soothing. And I just thought, hey, let's try to expand ourselves as an artist and go from just digital to also traditional, because I don't know if you guys ever experienced this, but as a digital artist, I don't know why I get so much flack when I'm like, hey, yeah, I do digital stuff. They're like, oh, okay, well, can you do traditional too? Like, that just discredits everything that you've done as far as like digital. Like, digital is not the same. It doesn't transfer over, which by the way it does. I am living testimony that it does transfer over. So yeah, see all these colors, I kind of like sample off of each other and then make minor adjustments. So they're kind of monochromatic-y, but they're not. They're kind of also complementary, but they're in the same family. Now I tried to do the rim effect, but it didn't work because of how messy my fills were, I guess. But in a perfect world, the effect... Oh, thank God, we are on to something new. Okay, so... I wanted to make a really quick background, which I didn't like in the end. But, yeah, so I just went to Affinity really quick. And then we just used the lasso tool to kind of create like a silhouette of some buildings in the background. And we're just going to darken it and go around here. And then we'll just use it on a separate layer to make side highlights to give it like some kind of 3D dimensionality. And then on top of that, I don't know, I'm just adding like minor details of, I don't know what this is, a sky tram or something. We're going to add fog in the front by changing the opacity, and then we're going to throw that on top. And then we're going to add some windows by doing the lasso tool again, just a rectangle, and then we're going to group them, copy and paste them. And then we are going to blur the whole image. And then behind it, we are going to, oh my gosh, a galaxy. Then we're going to import it in here onto a plane. We're going to go over to the shaders. I try to do images as planes, but for some reason I can't get images as plane to like render. So when I hit render, it didn't show. So we're going to do some shader work here. If you watched the last grease pencil video, which I'll put right here, it breaks down how I do the shaders, but the shaders are, pretty simple. So check that video out if you want to know about how to do the shaders. Yeah. So Well, here I am doing the shaders. Anyways, back to what I was saying. I do it kind of a very specific way though, especially with like transparent layers and stuff. So here we are. We're almost at the end, boys and girls. Yeah. So the thing about animation is it really just kind of gives you this next level of appreciation and I guess discipline for everything. Yeah. So here we are, and we're just kind of doing our final touches. And I don't draw anything if it's outside of the frame, because why would I? So just kind of work smarter and not harder, because you can quickly work extremely hard and want to throw yourself from a ledge, which I have wanted to do many times doing this. So yeah. So right, so we're just going to go around here, and towards the end of this is when grease pencils started getting really finicky. It basically wouldn't create, this happens all the time, this is not new. I mean, I've only used this really 2 times, but every single time I've used grease pencil, like, not seriously, but just like any time in general, it's really finicky. But this is sometimes when I don't know, Blender's, I guess, just over the project. And so, yeah, so I had to keep saving, Control S-ing, just to make a stroke, because the stroke wouldn't even show up when I would do it. So it was really annoying. But once you kind of get past that, work around it, and then it kind of fixed itself. Now here's the problem. So with the freestyle, I'm over here trying to mark the seams so that it doesn't render through the character, because I kept noticing every time I would render, it would render through the character. So ultimately, I just switched to object mode and hit convert to, and then a grease pencil object, and that fixed the depth mode thing problem that I was having. And I guess I could also I should have converted the rocket to that too, because when the final render, I don't like the way it looked. I could have added just some grease pencil object on it to the surface. But at this point, I was pretty done. I didn't have enough time to do like the details and the composition and stuff, which we can leave that to another video about composition and stuff, and how to render a very cool looking image. And it's kind of amazing how like composition, the final comp, can really take it from 0 to hero, right? Like with the shading and all that other stuff. So here we're just kind of adding dots, and we're making sure they're falling in that same explosion, so that it looks okay. And yeah, so that's about it for this video. If you guys like this video, please let me know. Once again, watch the last grease pencil video. I'll keep it right here. I kind of go more in depth with the shader stuff, how I do images and stuff like that. And if you'd like to see more, let me know. If you want me to see animate something else or something else in Blender, yeah, let me know. So it's a pleasure seeing you guys, and I will talk to you later. Ciao, arrivederci, and hasta la vista. Yeah, alright, I'll talk to you later. Bye.